Hello, everyone. My name is Mirna, and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today, with us, Angel Ribo, CEO, consultant, TV host, international public speaker, and president of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation, is co hosting with our dear friend Stan Sorensen. Stan is the president and founder of the Healing Exchange Center. Before starting with them, we want to remind you that Mindalia's mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness around the world, and you can help us by subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment down this video, or sharing it with someone that you know that is going to benefit of the content that we're going to be talking here today. Also, while we are live streaming, we have the active chat, the screen that you're going to be seeing on our side or under the video in case that you're following us from a smartphone. And through there, you can interact with us. You can enter your questions. We just please ask you to follow the format word question in caps and the actual question that you have. We also want you to collaborate with Mindalia with your own valuable content. And for that, you can go to our website. On the top, you're going to find a link. It says collaborate with Mindalia. And that link is going to take you to a form that you can fill out for our technical team to be getting in contact with you. Remember that you can collaborate with Mindalia in Portuguese through Mindalia Televisão, in English through Mindalia TV English, as you already know. And you can also collaborate with Mindalia in Spanish through Mindalia Televisión. Visit our different channels. Follow us in our Facebook, Instagram accounts. We want to hear from you. We're not going to delay this any further, and we're going to leave you with Angel, with Stan, and a very special guest. Guys, welcome to Mindalia live streaming. The screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mirna, for the introduction. Stan, we already had you here. We already interviewed you. Welcome back to Mindalia TV.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really excited about the guest that we have to talk with today.
Absolutely, we all are, and thank you, Stan, for accepting the invitation to co-host, shows with us on Mindalia TV moving forward. We are fully aware of the incredible mission an incredible amount of people that you have already impacted and helped throughout your life. And, from now on, we know that you have an incredible additional mission in your life, which has the name of a Healing Exchange Center. Before we go with our incredible guest today, why don't you share a little bit with the audience? What does that Healing Exchange Center entail?
Okay. It's a center that's in its early development stage, but it's been being developed for about a year now, and it's called the Healing Exchange Center. And the exchange part is the critical word because I'm quite familiar with Healing Center. I've been doing that for about 10 years, partly as a result of my interactions with our guest today, Dave Mashore, who is the CEO of the Catalyst Foundation in Lancaster, California. He and I had some conversations many years ago that led to me working with Dave back then with the Catalyst Foundation in establishing a healing center. So as this phase of the Healing Center evolved, it became, in my mind, a Healing Exchange Center where we exchange information, just like you guys in Mindalia TV and Mindalia, the bigger format.
The Spanish-speaking channel, yeah.
Yes, the Spanish-speaking channel. And so to me, this is just an evolution, the next step, the new chapter, so to speak. And I'm so happy to be able to go back to one of the people that inspired me to get onto this path, and that's Dave Mashore. I'm not sure if this is the time for me to ask my first question.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Whatever you feel like doing it. Follow your intuition.
Dave, welcome to Mindalia TV.
Thank you, Stan. Thank you for the invitation here.
Yes. And before I ask you to go deeply into your story, I want to know what it is that started your passion or fuels your passion to do what you do, because you've done remarkable things. You know, Angel said, I've impacted a lot of people. Well, I've impacted a lot of people because the impact that you had with me about 10 years ago in a conversation we had in a market. What was it? What was the name of that market? Trader Joe's. We ran into each other. We stood there for an hour talking about stuff, about helping people. And it was basically helping people recover from childhood abuse and other life trauma. And that led on to such wonderful things. And we've helped so many people because of that conversation. So I want to I want to show my gratitude to you for that, Dave. And so what inspires you? What turns you on? What keeps you going? What's
well, that's a big question. And so maybe we'll take it in bits. You know, we'll perhaps get into some of the work stuff in more detail later. But I'll say this, you know, I grew up in a home where that was less than ideal. We'll put it that way. There was a lot of violence in the home, violence towards my mother. We didn't have a lot materially. We didn't always have enough food. Yet, you know, part of what I came here to this earth with, I realize is I've somehow been able to be appreciative for what I do have. But I think, you know, with that beginning, it was a really valuable education, and I know my brothers and I, we would say, you know, there's nowhere but up from here, and so for that, you know, for me in having real lived experience with difficult life situations, of course, acting out of that and reacting to pain of those experiences, I got into, you know, for a short time there, things that were less than healthy, but then I transitioned into a real soul searching and a real need to know what the truth of things is, and so I really just had a burning desire that to this day sticks with me, and so I've been on a journey of wanting to understand things and to know things in a deeper way, and to I think, what is it, Missouri, the show me state. For me, it's really been about needing to know things, not believe in things, or not believe somebody else necessarily, no matter who they are, but to test things. And so, you know, the fruit of that has borne in me a great passion and a great love for people and the Creator and for service.
Beautiful. Wow. You know, we didn't. It's funny because as I was reading your, you know, the little questionnaire that we ask every single guest to our shows, you know, I was reflecting about you, and when you mentioned Catalyst Foundation, actually, let me tell you that several of the guests we have had for the last year, many of them have talked about the Catalyst Foundation. So let me tell you that regardless of the people that you have helped, regardless of the amazing reviews you have online, you definitely are a very important, you know, actor in the healing, you know, arena or space. Space is maybe too marketingian, but you know, so a lot of people know who you are, and a lot of people value what you do, and a lot of people have been inspired by you, as Stan was saying. And would you mind sharing with us a little bit more of, you know, what are the main goals of the foundation itself, Catalyst Foundation?
Yeah, so the kind of the mission of the Catalyst Foundation is to create a healing society. And so with that, we touch, you know, a variety of areas. from a real practical standpoint, we're a modest size nonprofit organization, and we provide social services support to very low income individuals and families, and we work with folks who are really in tough situations. They're living in the streets. They're living in the desert. They have serious medical or other issues going on. And then we also work with maximum security prisoners in the state of California. We're in 13 facilities in California, and we provide a program that has to do with the impact of trauma, difficult life experiences, and how we can grow and move forward in life and become transformational individuals as far as helping to create a healing society ourselves. So from a practical standpoint, on a day-to-day basis at the organization, at our offices, we have lots of people coming in each day, and we help people with getting housed, with moving into housing of different types. Sometimes it's temporary until we can get them in a more permanent housing. These are people who are often living on the streets or don't have a place to sleep, or are in very transitional situations, or they may be in board and care homes, but they're not being tended to well. They're not maybe taking their medications, and they don't have family members to be there for them. And we provide transportation support for those impacted by HIV and AIDS. And we started the first community garden in the Antelope Valley to help to provide food security for those who have challenges with that, as well as education about how to grow organic food for oneself. So it's a pretty broad thing that we do, and we're very passionate about this work.
Wow, that's a good description of the Catalyst Foundation. And I'm kind of curious, Dave, because you told me about an experience that you had many years ago while on your journey about meditation. And once we opened the Healing Center with the Catalyst Foundation, you actually taught a meditation class or group for us. And I never attended your meditation group, so I didn't really know what you were doing. And then the other day, you mentioned that you had been through quite a bit of training in the tradition of India, the Vipassana. Is that the way?
Well, there's a couple. So early on, as a 15, 16-year-old, I got interested in spirituality and wondering if there was more to things than what I was typically seeing at the time. And so just sort of, focusing on meditation right now, I got really interested in meditation. And at 17 years old, I began to meditate. I wasn't really sure what that was about, but one of the books that I read that was really a powerful read for me and kind of shook me a little bit was Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda.
Right.
And then and I had a neighbor who it turned out was a monk and devotee of Yogananda and who shared with me some of the lessons. And so I began to sit, to meditate every day for about an hour to an hour and a half each day. And I did that very regularly. And so I in sort of going through the process of understanding or attempting to understand what meditation was, I became quieter and quieter and ended up having some really, really powerful experiences and have remained a meditator since then. So that's been a little while. I'm not a youngster anymore. And so that has been a life-changing thing for me. But one of the other, and I've gone to some kind of intensive retreat things and meditation teacher certification programs, etc. over the years. And one of them, the one that you mentioned, Vipassana meditation, is a powerful. It's a 10-day course, and it's an awesome and a powerful teaching and something that was really valuable. It was a slightly, somewhat different sort of methodology of meditation, and very powerful. So that's one of the things. One of the other schools that I participated in. But yeah, I think that's one that I mentioned to you.
How many ways of healing are there? How many different paths of people? Because there's a lot of audience or there's a lot of people watching us every day, and they're looking for answers. They want to know more. They want to know if they are in pain, they are suffering, and they don't always find the answers. So how many ways of healing are there out there?
Yeah. So that's quite a question. I'll say this. In our Creating Healing Society program, for example, that we do for the prisoners in prison, we talk about this. What forms of inner growth or what forms of inner healing, what forms of inner work are there, and I'll start pretty broadly here because I think it's true, and that is that the Creator exists in all things. There's universal life force in all things, and it's fascinating to watch. I feel privileged because I've sort of participated and had extraordinary experience in more than one path or one way, and so what I've seen is that, and I'm not trying to keep the question broad, and I will narrow it down, but I want to say this. On some level, for each of us as individuals, that path is going to be at least somewhat or slightly different. There are many different paths to healing, and traditionally, in this conversation, we're talking about meditation, we're talking about spirituality, maybe in a more general way, and I'll throw the word religion in there. And so, traditional, from an inner healing standpoint, these are some things. But then, I've been in situations where I've seen other things. I've seen people spending time in nature being a healing process for them. I've seen therapy. I've seen situations where in therapy people have had breakthroughs. I've seen situations where when people write poetry or lyrics or music, that they connect with something larger than themselves, as well as any other art form. Certainly in the Native American traditions, there's the sweat lodge and talking circles, and so we can expand. And I think what's so beautiful about this universal energy, about God, about the Creator, whatever the language that we will put on it, is that it's available to us at all times, everywhere, no matter where we're at. And so I know, and like I said, that is a really broad answer. And so then I would say to bring it down and to narrow it down a little bit more for each of us as individuals, to search ourselves deeply and to attempt to understand where we connect with something larger, with universal truth, with a power that excites us, that moves us, that inspires us. And and sometimes that takes becoming quieter inside. And so, of course, knowing that meditation has been something for me, I would definitely promote that in one form or another. But stillness can come in other ways. It can come from going on a walk near the ocean or in nature. It can come from looking at a flower. Rumi, the beautiful poet, he talks about these expressions of this universal force that is everywhere and in all things. And so, for me, it's about, and when I work with others, I am not the person who can decide for somebody else, this is your path or this is your path necessarily. We can have a conversation, and maybe that can be discovered together, and I can be a part of that conversation, or maybe that can happen in another way. And so I think one of the things that I've grown to see is that the answers are they're inside of us. There are situations that can help us to clarify those things for ourselves, and whether it's conversations, whether it's study, whether it's meditation, there are things that can inspire us to connect more with ourselves in a deeper way, and to be able to listen to what it is that we need. So I don't know if that's too broad or too general.
No, it's perfect. And David, we have to wrap it up now. But actually, before we actually stop our conversation today, I would like first of all to ask you to be back and to have much more time to discuss many of the things that you just opened up the conversation here, because there's a lot of different things I can tell already. 3 different subjects that we can be talking about, and for probably like an hour or more. So I would definitely like to ask you to come back. We have to keep it short today, but thank you very much, really, for being with us today. And Stan, thank you very much. Amazing guest that you brought with us today. And as I said before, the Catalyst Foundation is definitely doing an amazing job in this world. And no wonder the impact that Dave is making in the world. Thank you very much for being who you are, David, and thank you, Stan, for being with us today. And in the name of Mindalia, this is Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV. Thank you very much, everybody, for being with us today. I hope that you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. Thank you very much for being with us, and hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Stan.
Bye-bye.